Hello again. So, I'm gonna be reading again another chapter or another excerpt from The Overthinking Cure by Nick Renton. So, before we start, maybe you have noticed that I'm changing some stuff in the channel. So, I'm gonna be moving, actually, I'm gonna moving all of them, the home videos playlist, to another channel, just to avoid views of videos getting cannibalized by other videos. And I'm not good at this. I'm kinda I'm kinda new here in YouTube being having a YouTube channel. So I hope you guys understand, and yeah, I hope that other channel that other channel will thrive in its own. Alright, so last time we talked about cognitive diffusion and acceptance. Now we're gonna talk about observing self. Alright, the observing self. There is a part of you that is in the world, experiencing. There is also a part of you that is outside it, unchanging, non judgmental, aware, unable to be harmed. We call it the observing self. Experience and change wash over us, but there is a part of us that is always there, unaffected. When we are in our observing self, we are detached enough to know that no experience will last forever, control us, or be dangerous to us. Our observing self is curious, open, and interested in life, and never resists or avoids it. This self can see all without being flooded by it. No matter what we experience or how intense, there is always some part of us set aside that is unaffected and able to observe, while disidentified. It's this self that gives us the power of choice. It's this self that lets us identify our values and choose actions toward those values, regardless of the fleeting experiences we have. Here, it's important to distinguish between your awareness and your ordinary mental cognitive processes. Being aware is not the same as simply thinking. In thinking, we generate ideas, delve into memories, engage our beliefs, and so on. But when we are aware, we simply observe what the thinking mind creates. In thinking, we might believe, I'm unhappy, things shouldn't be as they are. But in our observing self, we merely note, this is how things are. Those who struggle with anxiety can often find mindfulness doesn't help precisely because they have mistaken everyday rumination for being aware. So it's basically a mindset of it is what it is, but more proper and better fitting for people with anxiety and people who want to focus more and live more, live more happily. In our example, the observing self is able to take a step back from the experiencing self. In effect, there are two selves. One is having a shocking, painful experience. The other is observing that shock and pain. My head seems to be all over the place right now. My body is suddenly all tense and I feel like I could cry. I've had some bad news and I'm obviously having a strong reaction. Find your values. Awareness in itself is extremely valuable, but the power of ACT, that is action commitment therapy, is that we can become aware and then put that awareness into a bigger context. What actually matters to us? What do we care about most? What kind of people do we want to be? Why are we here on this planet? What are we most prepared to stand for, create, or defend? What brings purpose, joy, and meaning in your life? We say that ACT helps us create a better life, but it's our own unique personal values that helps us decide what that better actually looks like. In your heart, you have certain principles and cherished beliefs that help you orient yourself so that you feel you're living with integrity and purpose. Goals are shorter term and singular. Values, however, speak to our, speak to our bigger picture, direction in life. Sometimes values will be in conflict or unclear or even change. That's okay. You can keep asking, what are my values right now? Right here, with regard to the situation. If you ask yourself often, you'll never wander too far. Returning to our example, with time, we might be able to consciously say to ourselves, I am a person who has never wanted to be guided or controlled by fear. I'm a brave person and I value courage. No matter what happens to me with my health, I know that I can always choose to be strong and dignified, and that itself gives me courage. Well, that was something really nice. It's a nice thing to read. So aside from having a mentality of it is what it is, you need to find your values. You need to remind yourself of who you are and why you're here or why you're doing all these things. Maybe not a lot of people know what they want or don't really know why are they doing what they're doing. However, if you just put yourself out there, one way or another, you're gonna understand why you're here. It's not something external, it's something internal, something inside of you that keeps you going, keeps you waking up at waking up in the morning. Maybe it's just to live, maybe it's your family, maybe it's friends, maybe it's a goal that you might think it's silly or other people might think it's silly, but if it keeps you getting up in the morning, then it's worth it. And maybe in the future it will get better. Sooner or later it will get better. You just have to hang on. Keep on getting up in the morning. Finding your values. And knowing that whatever happens, you'll be alright. So I'm gonna end it here. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening. That's it. Bye.
Should have stayed at home.
Please, I'm begging you.